Welcome to Uraraka's Upcycles. They're all unnecessary and quite cheap. No one asked for them, but they're sticking around. Why? Cause I'm a Choco and they're my DIYs. If you don't like them, then I won't be surprised. Almost all of them are made out of trash, so sit back and don't expect them to flash. Well, maybe a few. Just like my special guest tonight. Ooh, here comes my favorite part. Uraraka's Unnecessary Upcycles.
This is a new segment here on Nikki Kavali's channel because she's a pushover and no one else would take me.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Get out of my way.
Okay.
So welcome to Uraraka's Unnecessary Upcycles. I'm your host, Choco Uraraka. Yeah, it's okay, you can stop clapping now. This is a segment where I make things that are completely unnecessary, but kind of cute, with very little money, because I'm broke. So watch the ads on this video. So let's go ahead and get started with whatever this is. You know those silly shirts Deku likes to wear with those funny jokes on them? I made him one. Don't look at the stain. I was eating a 4 for $4 from Wendy's. Let's make it!
Now the absolute easiest way to do this is with acrylic paint, a cheap thin brush, another thinner brush, and a t-shirt you take from your friends. I mean borrow. I mean it's mine. Some sort of bag or cardboard and a reference photo. Now you're gonna take the bag and put it in between the shirt so that the paint doesn't bleed through to the other side, because that would just be very uncomfortable and then you'd have it all over your back and it just wouldn't be a good look. Anyways, then you're gonna fold it over like I did and just start painting. I freehanded this so it came out a little bit crooked, but hey, he still liked it. Kinda, I guess. After that, you're gonna use some white paint just to clean up the edges so you can make it nice for the cinnamon roll. Look at that. Ooh. Ah. Deku, tell him what you think.
It's great!
Deku, more enthusiasm.
Oh, Choco, I'm trying, but I really can't. I had a really long, hard day. I woke up to this article about All Might, and they were saying that he's not the best pro- Where are you going? Any of you have dogs? You know how they scratch and bite and chew up your shit and chase you down the street? No. You're a horrible person. I know.
Nitro, stop chasing Todoroki. Get off the couch, bud.
You ever want to get their energy out? By getting them a toy? Have you seen the price of that? That noise. I'm gonna show you how to make some.
Ow!
With a water bottle and a sock.
So you're gonna get an old water bottle. I literally picked this one up from the trash. Steal a sock from Deku. The other one's lost anyway, like there's not a point to have it. Then get some of All Might's hair, string. Flip the sock inside out. Then shove the water bottle inside of it. Make sure the base goes in first, and then the top part where you drink out of is the closest to the opening of the sock. After that, you're gonna tie a knot at the top of where the opening of the water bottle is. After that, flip the sock over and then look. Wow! You got a plus ultra dog toy. And if your sock's long enough, you can go ahead and tie off the end with another piece of string, just so the dog can't rip the water bottle out. Let's go get Nitro. Come on, Nitro. Come on. You smell that? Ooh, it smells good. Come on.
Let's go, come on. Good girl, come on. Come on. These dog toys are a big hit. Come here, Nitro. Nitro. Come here. Nitro seems to love it.
Oh, Choco, where is my
frickin'
dog?
Got a blast. Do you know a charming idiot? One that happens to shoot lightning out of his body. Well, with all that electricity, he was bound to set a spark through someone. Glad it wasn't me. But it was Jiro! Here's this aroma candle so they can fall in love.
Get any old candle you have. Any at all. The ones with the little wax at the bottom that you just can't seem to get out. The other piles of wax you just have lying around. Also grab a little soap and an old rag that you can ruin. And a tea kettle. Be careful with this one and don't let it around Todoroki. Adult supervision is very, very important. You're also gonna need candle wicks. We got ours from Walmart, but you can also get them from Amazon. Now take all the old jars you have filled with wax and pour boiling water into them. Be very, very careful with these. Use it on a surface that's sturdy and that will not melt, and be sure to not burn yourself with them. If you need help, ask for an adult's assistance. seconds. You also might need to do this step a few times just to get all the wax out, but as you can see, the wax starts to heat up, bubble, and rise to the top. It might take a few minutes for the water to fully cool down, but once it does and the wax has cooled as well, you can go ahead and just pop it right out. And you have your own little pile of wax. We're also going to be using this wax later, so be sure not to throw it away or lose it. Ta-da! Pile of wax. Beautiful, beautiful, smelly, wonderful pile of wax. For this part, you're going to need a stove. Please be sure if you are using anything hot, have adult supervision if you need help. So you're going to need one jar that you want to actually make the candle in, and then a separate jar that you can melt the wax in. Be sure to use a candle jar for this because they won't explode when they are too hot. And grab your leftover wax and your candle wick that you're going to need to glue to the bottom of the jar that you want to make the candle in. We used our E6000 sponsored by Josee. E6000 is a very, very strong super glue, so be sure not to get it anywhere on you, and if you need help, please ask for an adult. So you're going to super glue that to the bottom of the jar that you're going to be making the candle in.
Don't get that on your fingers.
Be sure to use a stick during this part to push it down and not your fingers. After that, you can use an old chopstick or an old pencil. I used an old chopstick just to fold the candle wick over so it doesn't move. You are going to fully submerge the other jar in boiling hot water in a pot that you don't really mind getting messed up because some wax might go astray. Then after it heats up, you can use a good old heated up spotted spoon that you submerged in the boiling hot water just for a couple of seconds to drain the liquid to make sure no ugly chunks get inside our beautiful, beautiful candle. Make sure the wax doesn't get anywhere, and be sure to use oven mitts because the jar and the wax are both very, very hot. Since we're doing a layered candle, we have to let this one cool before we can move on to the second layer, so we just stuck ours in the freezer for it to cool faster. Also, be sure to clean off the excess wax on the side of the jar, and then just repeat the process over again with the other two layers of the candle. We use this white layer in the middle for Kaminari's jacket, and then this yellow layer on the top. Be sure to pick aromas that will smell nice together since you will be burning this. You can clean off the sides of the jar if you got any spillage on it, and cut off the top of the wick so that it's shorter so you're able to burn it. You can add some stickers and decorate it accordingly. We put Jiro on the top and then Kaminari all over it. And then for a nice little finishing touch, you can make your own label with sticker paper and print it off the computer with a quick little description of the candle and color it in whatever color you prefer. I used yellow. And then just stick it onto the jar and you're ready to go. Let's go. Wow, Jiro. Jiro.
Hey, Taco, what's up?
I made you something.
What's this?
It's a Kaminari scented candle.
Why would I want him on a candle?
Because you love him.
No, I don't. Stop. Don't be so loud.
Stop denying it, dude. Get out.
Any of you have a really angry friend that's always screaming and yelling like a banshee? Yeah, me too. You ever want him to just take their anger out on something else? Like a little tiny Deku? Let me show you how to make it.
Get a piece of computer paper. Just go with it, okay? You're gonna use it for a funnel. After that, get some string. I got green for Deku's hair, and then I also got a green little balloon. You're gonna need this as well. After that, get a cup of flour. Yes, you heard me. Flour. You're also gonna need a Sharpie and an old water bottle, just like the one we used in a previous DIY. After that, roll the piece of computer paper into a funnel, because why pay for something you can make? Stick the funnel into the water bottle, and then funnel the cup of flour into the old water bottle. After that, you're gonna take the balloon, stretch it out, and then blow it up. And then place it over the opening of the water bottle. Then you can go ahead and flip the water bottle upside down and make sure all the flour gets into it. After you finish funneling it in, go ahead and take the balloon off of the water bottle, but be sure not to let the balloon go, otherwise flour will fly literally everywhere. And so then just go ahead and let the air out slowly. Be sure you got all of the air out, and then just go ahead and tie it off. After that, I forced Nikki to draw on Deku's face because I just didn't feel like it. Then use the string, wrap it around your hand, tie it off right down the middle, and then after it's tied off, you can tie it onto the top of the balloon, and then cut the loops to make hair. There you go. Now you got a stress ball for your angry, stressed out friend. Bakugo, I want you to tell me what you think of this.
No, I'm busy. I'm almost done coloring Key.
Put your book down!
What?
Look, it's Deku.
Where?
It's a tiny squeeze ball of Deku.
What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
You squeeze it.
Why would I do that? He's so cute.
It's so you can get out all your rage.
No, I'm never squeezing this.
Ever. Or you can sleep with it, that's fine.
Everyone knows Dad Zawa. He's amazing. He's world famous. But what we mostly know about him is that he loves cats. Loves them. Brings the cat to class every day. I swear to God, I'm allergic and I have to take... It's a whole thing. Let's make his cat a bed. A nice little fancy one with a hood. I'll show you how. Come on.
Grab that old useless basket that's been sitting in your bathroom for 3 months. A nice fluffy pillow, your best one because your cats deserve the world. And an old t-shirt you took from Bakugo. I'm not even sorry. Nikki, Kavali, and Uraraka do not condone stealing. Be sure to ask for things before you use them. Go ahead and place the pillow inside of the basket. After that, take the opening of the extra large t-shirt and place it over the basket. Now you're going to take the excess, and I just tucked it in because this was a temporary fix, but if you would like for it to stay like that, you can either sew it, use fabric glue, or cut it off accordingly. And that's it. That's literally it. A new bed for your cat. Mr. Aizawa. Mr. Aizawa!
What?
Did I wake you?
No, I'm always this grumpy. What do you want?
This is for your cat. That's not for you. Don't put your head in it.
She doesn't mind sharing.
I mean, at least you like it. Now what you really came here for. Free cat content.
Ever need inspiration for new clothing? Take Todoroki, for example. Look at his hair. Split right down the middle. Just like my heart after this arc in the manga. Did you see that? That was so sad. Not the point. You ever picture it on a, I don't know, sweater? Now look at this one I made for Todoroki. Let me show you how.
The first thing you're gonna need is 2 hoodies. I got mine from your Momo's Closet, which I like to call my own personal Goodwill. I'm kidding. They're from Amazon. Anyways, they need to be the same length, otherwise you'll have to crop them. Next, you'll need a measuring tape to measure the length of your size of your hoodies. You'll also need sewing pins, so if you're underage, be sure to have adult supervision. You'll also need bobbin and thread. If you don't have one that matches the opposite sides of the shirt on hand, then you can use one that matches just one side. You'll also need chalk to ensure you get a straight line down the center of both hoodies. Next, lay both hoodies out as flat and taut as possible. Then use the measuring tape to measure the width of the hoodie and find the middle point of it while Aizawa's cats stare at Nikki do this because I forced her to help me with this because I was tired and eating my 4 for $4 from Wendy's. Anyways, you can also use a straight edge to ensure you get a straight line, and then you're going to cut it with some random pair of scissors you find in the house. Again, if you're using sharp objects, be sure to have adult supervision. After both hoodies are cut, lay them down to meet in the middle and ensure the collars line up. Sometimes the edges of them at the bottom of the shirts won't line up, and so you'll just have to cut that and adjust it accordingly later. But in general, most of the time, if you get the same style hoodie from the same exact vendor, they will line up. And there's Aizawa's cats. After that, you can get your box of pins ready and start pinning them together. You're going to want to pin them right sides together. And remember that since you're using a sewing machine and pins, be very careful, have adult supervision, and don't let any animals in the room while you do this. They may step on the pins and that could just be very detrimental to them. Look at this. Nikki's doing amazing. I told her I'd give her my bag of fries if she did this for me. Joke's on her, I already ate them. After that, you're going to get to sewing. And sewing. And sewing. And more sewing. It's a lot of sewing. And after that, you're ready to give your friends their gifts.
Todoroki, I made you a sweater.
I'm busy, Ochako.
You can't just loathe and self-pity all day.
Yes, I can.
Come here, put this sweater on.
No.
Don't run away from me.
Do you love yourself? Do you? Because you should. Because you're wonderful and amazing and fantastic and deserving of a gift for yourself. Always remember to get yourself something. These are my personal favorite. Clouds. Everyone always asks me where I get these. They're all the rage. And really, I just made them.
Get some old cups. Any old cups you have. Probably not going to be able to use them again, so keep that in mind. Also, you're going to need a balloon. Nitro seemed very interested in this one in particular. Grab a roll of paper towels and tape. We decided to use washi tape because it wouldn't get stuck to the balloon. Grab an old bowl that you can put the mixture in and some Elmer's glue. We decided to use Elmer's glue because it's washable. Well as a big bag of fluff, a hot glue gun, obviously, since it's a hot tool, be very careful with it and ask an adult for help if you need it, and string. You're also going to need the lights that you want to put in them if you would like for your clouds to light up. These ones are just little click-on ones that come with a remote, and you're also going to need some plastic wrap to put down on the surface that you're going to be doing this on. It gets very, very messy, so I would definitely recommend layering it with multiple things, like for instance a trash bag, plastic wrap, paper towels, anything to make sure that the glue doesn't get stuck on the surface, because even though it is Elmer's glue and it is washable, you still don't want to have to deal with that big mess. After that, we even put down a layer of paper towels, and let me tell you, this worked wonders. It was so easy to clean up afterwards. We literally just wrapped up the plastic wrap and threw it in the trash. It was phenomenal. And then you can go ahead and set everything that you need out. Blow up the balloons, stick them in the cup, and tape them down. You're going to want to do this so that your balloon doesn't go flying everywhere when you're trying to put the paper mache on it. It's not fun, it's more messy, and then your carpet will get stained and Mr. Aizawa will yell at you because the dorms aren't actually a place where you can act like it's a whole thing. I'm warning you beforehand. Start ripping up chunks of paper, because if you don't do this, you will cry so hard. So make sure you rip up your chunks of paper and have them ready before you get your hands covered in paper mache. As for the mixture, you're gonna mix 2 parts Elmer glue and 1 part water. Go ahead and mix that up, and then your paper mache recipe is all ready to go. Be sure to mix it until all the chunks of glue are gone. It'll kind of have the consistency of watery milk. After that, take your torn up pieces of paper and dip it in the glue and water mixture. Now, after you do that, you're going to want to kind of drain off the excess liquid, so that way it's not too wet when you put it onto the balloon. So I like to take my middle finger and my pointer finger and just slide it between it. Then you can go ahead, place it on to the blown up balloon and smooth it out. Now you're going to want to repeat the process until the rest of the balloon is covered up. Depending on how thick your paper is, for instance, this one was very thin, so we had to do 3 to 4 layers, but with thicker paper you can get by with only doing 2. But when you do the first 2 layers, be sure to let it dry for 24 hours before you do layer 3 and 4 again. After that, this is what it's going to look like when it's all covered up, and so just go ahead and leave it in a place where it won't get touched, messed with, or fall over. So definitely don't leave it in Deku or Kaminari's room, because they're just bound to either break it or knock it over. Once it's completely dry, you can go ahead and pull it off of the cup. Be sure to be careful not to rip it, and then you are going to need a needle. The balloon is most likely going to pop, so it might make a loud noise. If those scare you, be sure to be careful and ask for help, especially if you need help with the needle. Or you can just call Toga. I'm sure she'll be super excited to stab a balloon. You can also watch the balloon go boom. Then get all the excess balloon parts out and start cutting off the edges just to make it even. Be sure not to cover up this hole with any pillow fuzz, because this is where you're going to be putting the light into and where the string is going to go. So after that, you can go ahead, heat up your hot glue gun, and start putting the pillow fuzz on the paper mache bubble. Then you can just repeat the process over again until the entire balloon is covered in pillow fuzz. After that, you're going to go up to the top of the balloon, and right on the edge, put a little bit of hot glue, and you're going to stick the piece of string that we had earlier onto there. Be sure not to get any hot glue on your finger, and you can use a little bit of pillow fuzz just to push the hot glue down, so that way you don't burn yourself. Ta-da! Glowing cloud for people who are scared of the dark, like me. It's terrifying, and the only time it's not scary is when there's stars. Anyways.
Would you look at that? Their reactions were wonderful. They loved it. Thank you so much for tuning into Uraraka's Unnecessary Upcycles. If you enjoyed this video, and even if you didn't, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. And then that way, more people can see my face. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to buy my friends actual gifts. Anyways, I'll see you next time.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was literally so much fun to film. A lot of you have actually been asking me for these DIYs, and Vanessa and I tried to find a creative way to incorporate DIYs, comedy, and anime. We were aiming for a sitcom parody times DIY video. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up. If you're new, you can subscribe and click the bell. That way every single time I post a new video, you will get notified. A lot of these DIYs are things that we have used throughout my life and just constantly. We grew up really poor, so we reused a lot of things and tried DIY'd to make them cool again. Vanessa in our family is known as the DIY queen. And she came up with a lot of these. So we have plenty more of DIYs where this came from if you guys would like to see more. Also, we are in no way, shape, or form professional. This is just a kind of general idea of how to do these things, but be sure if you, I wouldn't rely on me fully. Be sure to do your research before you decide to do these DIYs. There are plenty of things on Pinterest and other things on YouTube. Big shout out to Josee, who got me literally everything to make the clouds, and Josee, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who buys me stuff for my wish list. It's really, really sweet, and it's so heartwarming, and I love the stuff that you guys get me, so thank you so much. I love you guys so, so, so much. Remember to stay safe, do your homework, and drink water, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Welcome to Uraraka's Upcycles. They're all unnecessary and quite cheap. No one asked for them, but they're sticking around. Why? Cause I'm a Choco and they're my DIYs. If you don't like them, then I won't be surprised. Almost all of them are made out of trash, so sit back and don't expect them to flash. Well, maybe a few. Just like my special guest tonight. Ooh, here comes my favorite part. Uraraka's Unnecessary Upcycles. Yeah!